Today, inshallah, today we will continue same subject, which is pointers. Last time we gave first lecture in the pointers. Okay, just let me open the lecture note first. Okay, so last time our subject was pointers. Okay, we mentioned pointer, and we saw that the pointer, it's actually a memory location or a variable that have a memory location for another variable. And we took two operators, which is AND operator, which is the address of any variable in the memory, and we take the star operator, which is the value pointed by specific address or pointed by specific pointer. Then we give some example about this, and finally we give the arithmetic operation for the pointer, like plus plus, minus minus, or increment, decrement, addition, and subtraction. And we saw that this operation depends on the operation will be for the value or for the pointer. If the operation for the pointer, this means we move blocks. Okay, so for example, here we have integer variable I, and we have pointer ptr, iptr. It's point to I. So when we said iptr plus 2 means add 2 blocks for the pointer. So if I address is 1000, this means the pointer point to address in the memory 1000. When we add 2 blocks, add 2 means add 2 blocks. If the block, it's depend on the size of the variable. This variable integer. If the integer, a block, its size 2, so 2 blocks means 4 bytes. So this means the pointer will be moved from I to 1004. It was 1000, for example. It become 1004 because 2 blocks, each block 2 means 4 bytes. So it's moved to 1002. Not here anymore. Okay. And we saw that when we mention star means the value. So when we said star iptr means the value pointed by ptr. So if iptr point to I, like what we did here, so star iptr means I, because this is a variable I, and this is a pointer for the variable. Value of the pointer means the value of the variable. So if we said star iptr, for example, plus plus means increase I by 1. So it's equivalent to I plus plus, same meaning. Here, in this example, we said iptr plus 2. and the star outside the parentheses. So we have to do the inside parentheses first, which is IBTR plus 2 means increase the pointer by 2. Here we said each block 4 bytes. When we said increase the pointer by 2 means by 2 blocks, each block 4. So it's like add to the pointer address 8. So if the pointer IBTR it's point to 1000, it become 1008. So this is the result of IBTR plus 2. Now star means the value pointed by this address equal 5. We assign 5 to this address. Okay, so this address will have this value because we said value for this address, which has become 1008 equal 5. So this arithmetic operators that we took last time. Okay, today, inshallah, we will continue. We still in the pointers. In this part of the pointers, we will speak about the relationship between pointers and array. Okay, so this second part of pointers, it's to speak about the relationship between pointers and arrays. First of all, array actually, or the name of the array actually, it's a pointer for the first element or first location of the array. So if we create array like this array of character, its name str, it's have 6 elements, and we give initial value hello. Okay, so in the memory, you can imagine it like this. We have variable name, which is str, the name of the array. And then we have the array with 6 elements. Its initial value hello, so HELLO, and last element of the array of string, it's null, yes? So the index of this array, it's started from 0. Any array index is started from 0. So 0, 1, 2 until 5, this is the index. Each element of the array have address, and the compiler will store the elements sequentially. So in the memory, the cells come in sequential order. It's a start from address. For example, if the first element address 1000, next one 1001, 1002 until 1005, because it's array of character and each character have 1 byte, so the address increase by 1. But if it's array of integer, it's depend on the compiler. If the compiler use for the integer 2, it will increase by 2 the addresses. If the integer 4 bytes in the compiler, it will take 4 bytes, 4 bytes. Okay. So Mawlud, don't open your mic except if you have a question. If you have a question, you can open and ask. Let me just do something. Okay. Okay. So actually, the name of the array, it's a pointer for the first element of the array. So str, the name of the array, it's actually pointer for the first element. We can create pointer and we make this pointer point here. Okay, but you said the name of the array is a pointer. Why we need another pointer? Because name of the array as pointer, we don't want to move it inside the array because it must always point to the first element. If we move it, we lose the position of the first element. So if we want to use pointers to move inside the array, we can create another pointer and make it point to the first element. Then we can move it inside the array and use element by element. Okay, so here we create a pointer, ptr. So it's pointer. Star means pointer of character. And we said ptr equal str. You remember last time we used like this. When we have integer, for example, I, and we have pointer for integer, for example, pointer p, and we want p to point for I, we said p equal what? And I, address of I, yes? That's why, because I here, it's only name of the integer value. But about the array, we said name of the array, it's pointer to the first element. So it's have address for the first element. That's why if you look here, we did not said ptr equal and str. This is not correct. Why not correct? Because it will not point to the array. Actually, if you said like this doesn't mean ptr and str point to the first element. If you said this one means what? Means ptr point to str, not to the array. So the meaning of this statement means that we have pointer ptr and it's point here to the name of the array, address of this pointer, not here. And this what not what we need. We need ptr as pointer to point to the same place as first element or same place as the array here. So str or ptr, it should equal str to point to the same place. That's why it's not correct to use this AND operator because we don't need the address of str. We need the address of the first element of the array, which is pointed by str. So to make pointer point to the array, it's enough to use the name of the array without AND operator. So ptr equal str means ptr point to the first element of the array. You can use AND operator with str if you mention the index of the element. In this case, this element 0 and this address of element 0. But here means pointer for the first element, so pointer equal pointer. But element cannot equal pointer. Element, we need its address because str0 means element 0. We need its address, then we can put it. So like this correct, like this correct. But like this without name the index of the element, not correct. Okay, so why we need pointer to point for the array? Because we can use this pointer to move inside the array, to copy a specific element of the array to another array, and so on, to make memory management. We will mention it later, inshallah, when we speak about dynamic memory. Because we know the array, it's a static, and we cannot change it, we cannot change its size. But when we speak about pointers, and we use the dynamic array to allocate these pointers, we will see it later, maybe next lecture, inshallah. We will see that during the runtime, we can change the array size and so on using the pointers. But here, the normal array like str here, we cannot change the size during the runtime. Okay, how to reach elements of the array? We can use the arithmetic operators that we take. When we speak about pointer, then we can use a plus plus, we can use minus minus, we can use plus specific index, maybe +4, plus n, and so on. We can use minus specific index, minus n, minus, to move the pointer. So the idea like this: if we have array, this array named str, and have this elements. Hello. Last element, of course, which is null. Now, if we have BTR here, pointer, point to this array, how to move inside it? To move forward, we can use plus plus. So PTR plus plus means move the pointer to the next element. So if the element at the start, move plus plus means move this pointer to the next element. Okay, now it's here. If we said move plus plus, it will move it to next element. If it's point here, move plus plus means move it to the next element. Okay, PTR minus minus means move it to previous element. So it will move it from here to previous element, and so on. PTR minus minus means move it from here to here, and so on, from here to here, and like this. Okay, so how to get the specific element in the array using the pointer? The general rule like this: to reach any element, you need PTR plus the index of the element, plus I. Like this, you point to specific element. So we have the index 0, 1, any array in C language, it starts the index from 0. So the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I need this element. How to reach this element? It's PTR plus the index, which is 2, so plus 2. Here you point to the element. I need the value of the element. Value means star. So star PTR plus 2 means value of the index 2 element or element index 2 and so on. I need this element. Okay, this element, what index? 4. So ptr plus 4 means move the pointer to element 4. I need the value pointed by this, so we write star. Star means value. ptr plus 4 means point here, so the value pointed by this pointer, which is 0, O here, and so on. Actually, we have now 4 ways to reach any element of the array. We have how many ways? 4 ways to reach any element. So if we have this array, and the name of the array str, and we have pointer ptr point to the first element, we have 4 ways to reach any element. First way, using the array name, the normal way, that str and the index of the element. So if we need element 3, we will write str 3. This means element indexed by 3. We can use also like this, because str is pointer to the first element also. The name of the array, it's a pointer for the first element. So we can move this pointer str, but I don't advise this because you will lose the pointer of the array in this case if you move the pointer. That's why we usually have another pointer. Okay? But in case if you want to use the name of the array as a pointer, you can set str plus the index I. I need value. We use it as pointer now. So because there is sound from our message, so I will use mic maybe. Okay. You hear me now? If you hear me, just 1 or 2 raise your hand. Need to know if you hear me. Okay, so, okay, good. Let's continue. I usually use the mic of the laptop directly because I don't like to put the headphone. It's make headache for me. But let's use it. Okay, so SCR now as a pointer, we can use it as SCR plus I means the index, and the star, because now we speak about pointer, so we need a star to get the value. So if we set same element, this one, so str plus, what's the index here? 3. And we need a star outside to get the value. So this one way, second way. Third way, now we use the pointer ptr. Same way, you can use the pointer ptr with the index of the element. So you can say third element, this one, it's ptr 3. So we can use the pointer as using the array, same, because now a pointer point to the first element of the array, name of the array, it's pointer towards the first element of the array.
Fourth way, PTR as pointer. So PTR plus the index, and we have a star outside. So third element means PTR plus 3, and we have a star because we speak about pointer. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ways because we have the array as a pointer and the pointer point to the array. This example. So as I mentioned, you can use any one of these ways and it will give you same result. So this one equivalent to this one, equivalent to this one, equivalent to this one. Look to this first example. Here in this example, we have array, okay, hello. So its array have 6 elements in the memory. The 6th element, which is hello. Okay, the name of the array str. Now here we create a pointer ptr point to str. So we have pointer here ptr. Here we said while value, star means value, pointed by ptr not equal null. So this means while this ptr did not reach the null value, did not reach here, while we did not reach the end of the array, what we need to do, print ptr value. What's the ptr value? Each value here, it's a character. So we said %c because it's a character. This means print character by character. After printing first character, which is H, now we said ptr plus plus. So we move ptr from here to next element. Then we continue the while loop. Now ptr point to E. So the value pointed by ptr is E. It's not equal null. So we enter the while. Now printf star ptr means the value pointed by ptr, which is E. ptr plus plus means move ptr from here to the next element. And continue. Now value pointed by ptr, it's L, it's not equal null. Print value pointed by ptr, so it will print L. Okay, move ptr to the next, print it, move it to the next, print it, move the pointer to the next, which is null. Okay, value pointed by ptr equal null, null not equal null, no. So we finish the loop. Now it will print end of code. Okay, here same. Okay, same example, but now instead of using while loop and using the increment and use the increment with while loop until reach null, we use now for loop. So we use the index from 0 to 6. The index from 0 to 6 because we have 6 elements in the array. So same, create array, make pointer for the array, then for loop. For the index 0, because this index 0 until 5. Yes, so for the index 0 until less than 6, which mean until 5, print character by character ptr plus I. ptr plus I means the pointer plus the index. First index 0, so first element. Second index 1, so first element. Third index 2, so element 2, and so on. So this give us the index of the element as a pointer. That's why we need here what? We need a star. So here we don't move ptr actually. We just take the index of the element with ptr. So it's like point here, point here, point here. When it's point to specific place, we need the value, so we need to use a star. Let me show you this code. This code we can use many ways here. We can use this way, this way, this way, and this way. It will give us same result. I think the code here. Okay, so first one, which was a star ptr plus I. Yes, so the index plus the pointer. So pointer plus the index means specific element in the array, point to specific element. Then the star means the value for pointed by this specific element. So it's take character by character from the array and print it. Okay. There is another way. We can use, instead of ptr as pointer, we can use str, because str, the name of the array, actually is pointer to the first element. So it's pointer plus the index of the element. Give us same result. Okay, the traditional way, which is the name of the array, and inside the name of the array we have the index. This is a normal way, like a previous semester. The name of the array, and we have the index of the element. So take element by element. Okay. Also, we can use the pointer as the array. So pointer with, it's same like the array. It's point to the first element. Then we can get any element index. Same idea. Here we use the pointer as array. But if we said plus I, then we use it as pointer. In this case, you cannot say plus I directly like this. As you can see here, we have some garbage values from the memory. Why? Because we printing here the value of the pointer itself, not the value pointed by the pointer. So to print the value pointed by the pointer, you need here a star. So star means value pointed by this pointer. Without the star means the pointer itself. So you will get any garbage value. But with the star means value pointed by this pointer. It gives you the correct result. Okay. uh, here. Okay. So now using the two-dimensional array, pointers with the two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array here, the way of creating two-dimensional array. We identify how many rows. So we have 3 rows here, and we have 4 columns. As a human, we imagine it like this. We have rows, index from 0, so we have row 0, row 1, row 2. That's through 3 rows. Columns index from 0, we have 4, so column index 0, 1, 2, 3. But this one actually in the computer, it will be stored like this, as one dimension at the end. Why? Because the compiler will allocate the memory for this two-dimension array using something called row-wise memory allocation. So, row-wise memory allocation. What's the meaning of row-wise memory allocation? Means it will be allocated in the memory sequential. First row, then after reaching last element of the first row, first element in the second row come directly in the memory. Then after finish, first row, row index 2, second row, first element in the second row come directly after last element in the first row, and so on. So if we said that this one array of integer and the integer 2 bytes, so we can imagine in some compilers it's 4 bytes, like my compiler. So if we imagine that the first element index or address 1000, second element 1002, third element 1004, fourth element in the first row, in the row index 0, 1006. Now, first element in row 1, it's come directly after last element in row 0. So last element 1006 plus 2, so first element in the row 1, it's 1008, and so on. So to reach this array elements, we have 2 ways. We can imagine rows and column and use the index of row and column like this, or we can use it as pointer. When the pointer point here, so we can move it next element, next element, next element, next element. How to get this element, next element? It's come after finishing row 0 or row 1, row 0, and so on. So the index of this element 5, to get it, we have this rule. Or this expression. To use the pointer to reach any element to get the value. Value means star. Using the pointer, PTR, we have to move the index. Okay, move the index. The index is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. But here, it's another row. Yes? So until first row, you don't have problem. But when you start with the second row, you will use this way. A plus the index of the element, which is any index of the element, it consists of index of the row multiplied by number of columns. number of columns plus index of the column. So this one index of the column, this one index of the row, multiply by how many columns we have. Why? Because this gives us the row. Here, number of columns. So first column have, first row have, for example, 4 columns, then you can move index. Second row also have 4 columns, for example, and so on. So you need to increase using the number of elements that you will move. Let's imagine it like this. If we have two-dimension array, this two-dimension array, I will use same two-dimension array. It's here in this example. Okay, how many row we have? 3. 1, 2, 3. So index 0, 1, 2. How many columns we have? 4. So it's index 0, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so if I want to reach specific element, for example, this element. Okay, to reach this element, let's apply this rule. To reach this element, we need the value of I, number of columns, the value of j. The value of I for this element means in which row? It's equal 1, so it's in row 1. Okay, the value of column with j, in which column? It's in column 2, so j equal 2. How many columns? Number of columns. Number of columns, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's this index 3, but we have 4 columns. So let's make the calculation now. Which element we need? The star BTR plus I, which is 1, multiply by number of columns, which is 4, number of columns, plus column index, which is 2. Make the calculation, so it's a star BTR plus 1 multiplied by 4, it's 4, plus 2, it's 6. So this means which element we need? We need element BTR plus 6. Look here. Which element? This one here. Row 1. So this element, yes? Look in the memory here. Which element we said we need? We need first row, second column. First row, second column, 0 column, 1 column, second column. So we need this element. Yes? Now, if BTR here, according to this rule, we will move BTR how many elements? 6 elements, then get the value. So BTR start here, move it 6 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So BTR point here, and then we will use the start to get the value. So we use this one to mimic, to do same like if we have the idea of row wise in the memory for the two-dimensional array. So in two-dimensional array, we can use this way to get specific element. Okay, so this example can be applied like this here. So this is the rule, general rule, PTR plus I, which is the index of the row, multiplied by number of columns inside this array, plus J, which is the index of the column. Look to this array. We have the array. Then we said number of rows is 3, number of column is 4. Okay. Then we make the pointer point to the first element. Is there another way to write this? Yes. We can set integer pointer PTR equal num. So equal num or equal first element of num, but here we need to use address. Here we don't need to use address. Here we use address. Why? Because name of the array, it's pointer to the first element. But if we use first element directly, we need to use add. Okay, this gives us same result. Okay, what we have here? Two for loops to reach all the elements of the array. First for loop to move inside the row, second for loop to move inside the column. And this is the general rule to reach the elements. PTR plus index of the row multiply, star here means multiply by columns number, which is 4 here, plus J, which is index of the column. Like any multi-dimension array that we took last semester, when we have two-dimensional array, we can use 2 for loops to reach any element. In the two-dimensional array, using the pointer, also we can use 1 for loop. How to use 1 for loop? We can imagine it like this. Only one dimension. If we imagine it as one dimension like this, then we can use PTR and make PTR move one element. But in this case, we need to know how many elements we have. So how many elements we have? Number of columns, which is 3. Each one have 4 elements. So 3 multiplied by 4. Then we have 12 elements. So if we need one for loop, we need to know how many elements we have, which is number of row multiplied by number of columns. Then in this case, we can move sequentially here. Okay, so in this example, we take how many cells or what's the length of the array. So it's number of rows multiplied by number of columns. So we said 4 from index 0 to total number of cells or how many elements we have in the array, which is we calculate it here, number of rows multiplied by columns. Now we said pointer plus I. What I? Index inside the array as sequential as this. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay, this is only pointer. To get the value we need star. Star means value pointed by this pointer. So this way with one dimension array, this way with two-dimension array. Or 2 for loop, this 1 for loop. Of course, we can use the normal index of the array ij only. Okay, so we can use this way, or we can use array um, index directly. Okay, someone will say, okay, using array directly, it's much easier. But I told you, it's about the many things. First issue about the uh, array is static, means it's during the compilation time you fix the size and everything. But when you speak about pointers, it's give more flexibility for the array to be change the size. That's why we will speak later about array of pointers. Array of pointers, it's different than pointer point to the array. The array itself, it's become or contain elements of pointers. Okay, we will speak about it later. So let's speak about the general way to reach any element of two-dimensional array. Any two-dimensional array, if we speak about pointer, it's have this general rule. When we speak, if we have array A, R, R, we have pointer A, R point to the first element. If we said A, R plus I means index of the row, we reach specific row. So to reach first row, which is row 0, we use ARR plus 0. A plus 0 doesn't matter, so we can use ARR. So ARR means pointer to the first row. Okay, or row index 0. Row index 1, ARR plus 1. Row index 2, ARR means the name of the array, plus 2, and so on. So like this, we reach any row. To reach any element inside the row, this is a general rule. Star, then ARR plus I, all this plus J. What's the meaning of I here? Index of row. What's the meaning of J? Index of column. So to reach this element, I need the pointer for this element. To get the pointer for this element, this is the general form, which is star, okay, name of the array ARR plus index of the row, which is 1. So plus 1. Plus index of the column. Columns, it's starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So index of the column is 2. So plus 2. This mean point to this element. So this point here. But this mean it's the address of this element. I need the value of this element. To get the value, you need another star outside. Why is this star? It's mean value pointed by this pointer or this address. Okay, so star means value. This one only point here. Okay, again, if I need only to point here, I will use this rule, which is ARR plus the index of the row, which is 1, star, plus the index of the column, which is 2, so +2. This only pointer for the element. Okay, this gives us the address of this element. If we have address, to get the value outside the address, we get or we put a star. Okay, I need from you to try this element. So this element, please write in the chat here how to get the value of this element. Write your answer in the chat, how to get the value of this element. I'm still waiting your answers. What? How to write or how to get the value of this element using this rule. Uh, okay, okay, good. The two answers is correct here. So if we need the address of this element, the address is star array name plus index of row, which is 2, plus index of column, which is 1. This is the address. The value outside it, we need another star. So value pointed by this address. Okay, array of pointers. Let me check how many subjects we still have. Okay. Okay. Array of pointers. Look to this way that we talk last semester. Array of pointers, shortly, it's array, and this array have its element actually not integer, character, or anything like this. It's address for another places in the memory. So it's like pointer for another places in the memory. We call this array, for example, array X. We called it array of pointer because each element point to another place in the memory. We use it usually with multi-dimension array to avoid using or waste the memory space. Okay, look to this traditional way, which is two-dimension array. This two-dimension array, normal two-dimension array, its name is sports. It have 5 rows, 15 columns. So in the memory, you can imagine it like this. This first row have only golf, second row hockey, third row football, cricket, and shooting. Okay, this 4 row, each column 15 elements. So in the memory, you can imagine it like this. We have 4 rows, 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 15 columns. So one from index 0, 1, 2, 3 until index 14. So this 15 columns and row from index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the data inside this array like this: golf, and it's end with null. It's end with null. But what about the remain parts in the memory? Actually, all these parts in the memory, you already booked it. It will be filled by null. So all these elements in the dark gray, it's null, but it's booked for your program in the memory. So you are wasting the memory. You have a huge space in the memory here. It's booked in the memory, but it's not really used. All this empty but booked for you. That's why instead of this one, we can use array of pointers. So in array of pointers, instead of this, we will write it again as array of pointers. As you can see here, it's array of pointers for how many elements we have? 5. So this sports is array like this in the memory with 5 elements. So index from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each element in the array, it's a pointer, as we mentioned here. It's a pointer. Pointer for each of these strings. So we did not mention how many columns. So how many columns this one will take? Depend on the size of each row. So in this one, it will take the elements, 5 elements, 4 characters plus the end of the array, which is null. Each one from sports, it's actually address for the first element in this string. So if this one 1000 is started from 1000, so the address of this one is stored here in the array. So it's point here. The address of the first element in hockey is stored here, so it's point here. So this one, it's array of pointer. Each one point to a string in the memory, and we don't need to book here many empty spaces that are unused. So this way, it's better management for the memory because we don't waste the size of the memory, or we don't waste the space of the memory. Okay, so let's move to this subject, which is we will return to example related to array of pointers. Also, one type of array of pointers, which is a string. We took in programming 1 this way to create a string character, for example, str, then size, then we can give initial value, for example, hello. Okay, array of character, we use it as a string. Now there's another way to create a string, which is pointers, like in this one. Character, we can use pointer. SCR or SCR BTR. It's up to you. It's only name of the variable or of the pointer equal hello. What's the difference here? Actually, the difference, if we speak about pointers, we can use the memory allocation and memory management, and then we can make it dynamic after this, so we can change the size and so on. But if you speak about a string as character, array of character, you cannot change the size later after the runtime. This one issue. Another issue, if you book size more than the value that you need, you can set character star, for example, 16. In this case, you will have 16 elements in the memory, but you use 6 actually. The extra 10 elements, it's empty, but it's booked for you. So you are wasting the memory here. So a string as pointer here, we create a string as pointer. So at the end, it's a pointer, strptr, it's a pointer that have address of the first element of the array. Okay, the idea here in this example, we need to copy this str. So we have str ptr, it's the name of the string. We need to copy it inside array of character x. So we have empty array of character x, and we need to copy the string from strptr to x. So strptr have hello world. We need to copy it here. The idea here, we will copy element by element. So we will copy element from here to here, then next element, then next element, then next element, and so on. To use it, don't try to use the original pointer and move it, because we need the original pointer, which is the name of the array, to be always on the first element. So we need strptr point here always, and we need x to point here always. So what we will use, we will create another pointers. We will create a pointer here and name it t, and we will create a pointer here and name it t2, then copy the value pointed by t into the value pointed by t2. So we copy first time h here. Then after that, we move t here, we move t2 here. Then we move copy, then move here, then move here, then move here and copy, move and copy, move and copy. So we move until we reach null. So the idea like this, after we create str ptr, this string hello, we create array of character x, then we create two pointers from type character, because it will point to character values. So we have star t from character, and we have pointer t2 from character. This only print this string. So when we print it like this, what strptr? It's a string, so %s we use here. We don't print this time character by character, we printed the whole string. Okay, in this example. So, uh, okay, we printed the whole string. Now, let's move to copy element by element. At the beginning, we need t to point here. So we said t, it's equal the first array, first string, which is strbtr. So it's point here. Okay. And we make t2 point to x. So it's point here, t2. Now we said while the value pointed by t not equal null, this means while we did not reach here null, do what? Copy the value star means value, pointed by t, which is h here, to the value of t2. So t2 value equal t value, which is h. Now, after we copy, we need to move t here and move t2 here. How to move the pointer? Plus plus. So t plus plus, t2 plus plus. Continue. Now, t, it's point to e. Is it equal null? No. So copy. So we copy e, then move next, copy L, copy L, copy O, move next until t reach here, which is null, value of t not equal null, no, then move outside, print x. Now x, it's a string, so we print it as a string, so this will print also hello. Like this, we copy from string as pointer to string as array of character. You print or copy character by character. Okay, I think this one last example, then we will stop after it. Look here, multidimensional array using pointers. Okay, we will use pointers as multidimensional array. The idea like this. We will have two-dimension array of pointers, and each pointer point to a string. So the idea like this. Look here in the memory or in this code, we said pointer, character pointer as array, so it's array of pointers. So spring season, it's actually array of pointers. Its name spring. Spring season. And first element in the array point to string March. Second element in spring array, it's point to array April. Third element in spring array, it's pointer, array of pointer, spring season. So each one, it's a pointer for element. This first pointer for first element, second pointer for second element, third pointer for third element, which is May. and so on. Now, next array of pointer, it's summer season. So we have array of pointers summer, and also it's have 3 pointers, each one point to first one point to June, second one July, third one August, and so on. We have also fall or fall, and we have winter. Okay, fall and winter, and so on. So 4 arrays of pointers. Now we will make season its array of pointers. So 2-dimension array of pointer. And if we imagine it as a string, so it's become 3 dimension, because each dimension of this 2 dimension actually it's point to array of character or point to string. Okay, so 2-dimension array of pointer, because pointer of pointer, you remember last lecture note, we said pointer of pointer, if we have 2 level of pointer, we use 2 stars. So array of pointers, it's have 2 stars like this. So season, it's array of pointer, and seasons, and each element it's point to a pointer. So first element of season, element 0, it's point to spring season, which is array of pointer. So that's why we use 2 star, because each element array of pointer. So array of pointer point to array of pointer. Second element, which is point to summer. Third element, which is point to fall, and third element point to array of pointer, which is winter. So array of pointer like 2-dimensional array of pointers. Okay, how to reach 2-dimension array of pointer? This is the season, and inside each one you have the array for each season. To reach each element, you need the index of the row, which is I, index inside this one, which is j. So index, then index inside here. So we can use 2 for loops. First one, it's to move inside season. So we have 4 elements inside season. So it's from 0 to 4. Second one, to move inside each sub-array here of pointer, which is, as you can see, each one have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we need the 3 elements for the each one inside season. So spring 3 element, summer 3 element, fall 3 element, winter. So we need j from 0 to 3. Now we can take array like any array. Season I, j. If we imagine this one as 2-dimension array, we can use this way that I give here. So to reach any element, you can use the name of the season array plus which row plus which column, and outside a star. So you can use here, if you imagine it as 2-dimension array like this, So if we want to reach this one, it's I. So we will say it like this: season plus the row, which is I. Outside, we need to write star plus the column, which is J here. So this is the pointer for each element. Now to get the value, we need a star. So you can write this way. Let me just... so you can write this way: reach each row in the season with each column that come from here. Or you can write it like this: season plus the row index, star outside plus the column index, and all this star outside. Okay, so I think we don't have time to complete this one, because in the previous section also I did not complete this subject, call by value and call by reference, and it's important subject. It's related to the pointer, and usually in the exam output the questions and so on, you need to know what's the difference between call by value and call by reference. That's why I will keep it to the next lecture I will give you, because we have some examples here. We have to understand it. So we can stop here, and we will continue this lecture note next time, inshallah. If you have any question. If you don't have any question, we can finish now.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for attending the lecture. See you, inshallah, next week. You can leave the meeting. I will stop the recording and wait until the record